Welcome to the Guitar Garden today. What we're looking at is changing the strings on a string through bridge. This is a baritone ukulele, a Bondi Arcadia, which I purchased from ukemate.com.au, or ukelelemate.com.au. No affiliation there, but more than welcomed. And today I'm going to be using these Aquila Red Series strings. Again, no sponsorship here, these are just the ones that I've chosen, and I've purchased those from stringsbypost.com.au. They cost me $15 delivered. That's in Australia, and it's in September 2023. So these were probably the best deal that I could find online. So again, no affiliation here. I'm welcome to it and open to it. But if you want to check out stringsbypost.com.au, there's a good bargain here. I'll put the link in the description for those strings there. The other tools you're going to need is, look, I've got this nice mat which helps to protect my instrument. Nice neck holder, which is a part of the set that I received. The other tools you're going to need is a string winder. I recommend you get some form of string winder. There's a basic one here that they stock at most music stores. This one I believe I got from Planet Waves, which is a Diodario brand. It's a string winder that I use for my guitar bass. Well, not all the basses, actually they don't fit too well. They fit mostly. It has a great little end for string pegs and also for clipping excess string. So that's actually a nice little tool there, but that's okay. So I have a backup set just in case, and you might need some long nose pliers if you have sausage fingers like I do. Okay, so with the string through bridges, what we're really focusing on is securing the string under the bridge. Now there's a couple of knots that can be used to secure the string, or what you can use, and like it's fitted on this guitar, is a string ball. Now you can use a bead, you can use the ball off an electric or acoustic string, but this is one of the ones that came with it, and there's a knack to tying that on. I did some research and looked at some other tutorials, and I didn't like the way that some of them suggested to attach the ball to the end of the string. So we're going to look at my preferred method today. But basically what you need to do first is you need to de-string the ukulele, but you need to detune the uke. So using my string winder, I always strike the string so then I can hear the pitch, because if I'm tuning up, I obviously want it to go up. If I'm detuning, I want the pitch to go down. The last thing you want to do is do it the wrong way. Now obviously some other people will cut the string at this point. It's totally up to you. But if you do cut the string, make sure you have dewound it first. So that's how you take the string off. I'm going to start with pull the string through. I'll do the same with this guy. Sometimes this can be a bit fun. One of the main benefits of having a string ball is that it adds some weight to it, which makes it a little bit easy for it to dangle down. But we just pull that through and you can see the ball's been tied on to the string like so. Okay, so let's open up our packet of Aquila 89U Red Series strings. 4 strings, all individually separated and color coded, so if you get a little bit confused as to which string is which, you've got a nice little guide here. So we're going to start with the low string here. Okay, one of the things, one of the tips I think is a great tip for you to practice is practice doing the knots on the old strings before you start practicing on the new strings. That may seem a little bit obvious, but there's that excitement of getting the new strings on, and then all of a sudden you get to the point of tying the knot and you go, oh, I don't know how to do it. So I'm just going to demonstrate a couple of knots using this rope so it's a little bit easier for you to see. A number of tutorials I've seen just say tie a knot, so basically we're tempted to wrap it around and tie a knot like so, like you would with the first stage of tying your shoelace. And then that may not be big enough, especially on some of the smaller strings, so you might tie, a second knot. And you might be lucky to get it in the right spot. But if the second knot is not exactly in the same spot, what you'll end up is two knots that are the same size but in two different places, and that could pull through the bridge, and then that could pull through the bridge. So what we want is a more efficient and better knot. So if this is my length of string, this is the end here, if I wrap it around underneath, so I've got the end coming underneath the loop, as it were, I grab the loop and twist it towards the end, which creates this kind of a pattern, and then I bring the end through the hole and pull, and I have what's called a figure-8 knot. And as I pull that tight, you can see that it's a big knot and it's not going anywhere. Now, you may want to double that up. In doubling that up, very simply, again, bring the end underneath the rest of the string that's coming out of the guitar, and making sure the knot is on this side and the end is on that side. Again, flip it over, so then it looks like this. Bring the end through, and voila, we have a double figure-8 knot. Now that knot is huge in comparison to the two knots that we created earlier. Another method that you could try is sometimes using string balls, which could be you can buy separately, or you can reuse beads or balls at the end of electric guitar strings or acoustic guitar strings and so forth. They can be tied on to the string as well. Now for the size, I'm going to use this roll of tape to represent my bead or my string ball. So a couple of methods are to tie a knot first, put the string ball in, and then tie another knot to kind of secure it. But it's a bit lackadaisy. There's a bit of play there. If that knot pulls through, then we're pulling on the string ball here, and then we're relying totally on the second knot. The first knot becomes useless, and that could slip at any point. So that's probably not my preferred method. So the way that I like to do it is feed the ball onto the string, and then we want to make sure, as before, we slip the end underneath, and what we do is we've created the loop with the string ball, and then the end of the string is underneath. Grab the loop, twist it over, grab the end, feed it through. And again, we created this figure-8 knot, but we have the ball secured within the knot. And then as we pull it tight, we have the ball and the knot there. Now, if you wanted to do a double knot, bring the end underneath with the ball and the knot. The ball's not going anywhere, it's tied in the knot. Twist it over, feed the end through the hole, we have a second figure-8, And there we've got a monster. You'd be lucky to get that through the sound hole, let alone pull through the bridge. Okay. But a single figure 8 knot on that ball, a string ball, would be sufficient to lock it into place. So we're going to practice on this string first. So the easiest way to get the ball off is to use the clippers. So now you've seen how to tie the knot using the rope. Let's demonstrate that firstly without the ball on the string, because that's where the money thing is. All right, so we bring the loop and bring the excess underneath the loop. So I've got the excess coming underneath the loop. I twist the loop over towards the end. All right, so I've got that kind of a twisting action, and I bring the string through the loop, and as I'm pulling, we start to get that figure 8, and that's what we're after. Okay, and then I can double that and do that as a double. But what I want to do is I want to put the ball on. So we feed the ball in, bring the excess underneath. All right, put the ball on the opposite side of where the excess string is. Turn the loop over. So now the ball's on the same side as the excess. Bring the excess, or the end, through the loop, and as we pull, you can see we've got a figure 8, but we also have the ball attached. So the knot is going to reach the hole, and if any part of that knot pulls through, the ball's going to be there to assist. Right? But we don't tie on the ball until we've fed the string through the bridge. We're just practicing. So put that aside. Now let's grab our low D string. Just confirming that's going to be the white one. White one, here we go. Oh, it's like Christmas. Now the strings themselves will have a natural curve to them. And what we want to do is take advantage of that. So as we're feeding the string through the bridge, we want to try and encourage that curve. Okay, got it. A little bit of an arduous task there, but that's okay. We got it through. Okay, now string ball. Place it on the string. We're going to have lots of length there, so that's okay. So bring it underneath. So we've got our knot like so. Our loop and the end is going underneath. Okay, our end is here, our ball's on here. We twist it over once, so that way we have a twist in it. Then we feed our end through, and then we pull, and then we pull tight. And then we have a beautiful secure knot. Just give that a nice pull. We can use the pliers if we want to just give it a little bit extra tug. And then we feed that back. And we're ready to put it on. Don't forget to cut the excess off before you string it up. Make sure you do that. Stringing up this end, a couple of tips for you is make sure you align the hole facing you, and I'll show you why. So what we're going to do is there's a couple of different methods. Some people will feed the string through and then Let's demonstrate that. So they feed it through. Have a little bit of slack, and then they start winding it up and hoping there's enough on there. The method that I've used on my guitars as well as on my ukes is I bring the string taut and I hold it down. Keeping in mind I've got the hole facing me. I bring it around twice. Now I'm turning it above the string, so the coils are sitting above the string feeding in. I push it down with my finger, and then because I know where the hole is, because it's away from me, I feed the string through, so I have the coils below it. My big fingers. Like so. Give it a strike, and now make sure I'm turning it the right way. Give it a nice little tug. Tug in the middle. Tug. Tug. There's no movement in that. It will need to be stretched in. It will need to be stretched in, but that's a great start. And then I can clip off, not all of it, I'll clip off most of the excess just to be out of the way. Okay, that works. There we have it. All it's left to do is to stretch and retune over the next couple of hours and days. That's how you restring a string through bridge. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my other videos, performances and so forth. Have a great day. See you next time at the Guitar Garden.